In a quiet, forgotten corner of the town stood an old Victorian house, its grandeur long faded. The locals whispered of its dark history, claiming it was alive, a cursed entity that bled. They called it the house that bled. Its peeling paint and cracked windows seemed to weep, and on nights when the moon hung low, a strange crimson liquid would seep from the walls, pooling ominously on the ground. One stormy evening, a curious young woman named Clara, drawn by the tales, approached the house. The air was thick with anticipation, a heavy silence enveloping the landscape. As Clara stepped onto the creaking porch, the floorboards groaned beneath her weight, as if warning her to turn back. But she pressed on, her heart racing with a mix of fear and exhilaration. The front door swung open with a chilling creak, revealing a dimly lit foyer. The air inside was stale, heavy with the scent of mildew and something metallic. Clara's flashlight flickered to life, casting eerie shadows on the walls, where dark stains marred the once ornate wallpaper. She shivered, feeling a cold draft that seemed to whisper her name. As she wandered deeper into the house, she noticed the walls pulsing, as if breathing. The crimson liquid oozed from cracks, glistening in the beam of her light. Clara knelt to inspect it, her fingers trembling as they brushed the warm, sticky substance. It felt wrong, alive and sentient, as if it were drawing her in. Suddenly, a low moan echoed through the halls, sending icy tendrils of fear racing down her spine. Clara stood frozen, her heartbeat thundering in her ears. The moan grew louder, morphing into a cacophony of anguished cries. She spun around, her flashlight illuminating ghostly figures emerging from the shadows, their faces twisted in agony, mouths opening in silent screams. Panic surged through her as she stumbled backward, her foot slipping in the crimson pool. The spirits swirled around her, their hollow eyes filled with sorrow and rage, trapped by the malevolent force of the house. The walls closed in, the bleeding intensifying as if feeding off her terror. In a desperate bid for escape, Clara dashed toward the exit, but the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The house roared, a deep, resonant growl that shook the very foundation. She was ensnared. The walls seemed to bleed more fiercely, the crimson liquid rising, threatening to engulf her. With one last scream, Clara realized the truth. The house didn't just bleed, it fed on the fear and despair of those who dared to enter. As the darkness closed in, she became another whisper in the wind, another tale in the town's legacy, a warning to those who might be tempted by the allure of the house that bled.